If you earned overtime wages in 2025, you may be able to deduct up to $25,000 of those overtime wages on your tax return. This is all part of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that was passed on July 4th of 2025. This video is part of a series of videos I'm doing on how to complete Schedule 1A that was created under that One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This new Schedule 1A is also used to calculate the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on car loan interest, and the senior deduction. I already did a video on how to calculate the no tax on tips. This video is going to focus on the no tax on overtime and how to calculate it on Schedule 1A and the rest of your tax return. I'll do a separate video on how to calculate the no tax on car loan interest and the senior deduction. So let's jump right into the tax return and see how the Schedule 1A works and how it flows into your regular 1040. Okay, here we are in the tax return, and this is the Schedule 1A that's new for 2025. You'll see that this actually schedule is in 6 parts. The first part is calculation of modified adjusted gross income, and then the other remaining parts are the no tax on tips, the no tax on overtime, the deduction of the car loan interest, the senior deduction. Here's a car loan interest. Here's the senior deduction. And at the end, part 6 is the sum of all those deductions that you're getting. But the reason why I bring up the part 1 is because part 1, the calculation of the modified adjusted gross income, is used for all the other parts because it's the eligibility part. So to become eligible for the no tax on tips, your modified adjusted gross income has to be under a certain amount. To qualify for the no tax on overtime, your modified adjusted gross income has to be below a certain amount. Hence, the reason why the calculation of the modified adjusted gross income is important. Now, if you're not familiar with the modified adjusted gross income, I recommend you watch another video I did where I compare the adjusted gross income to the modified adjusted gross income. Okay, so let's see how the modified adjusted gross income is calculated here. You first start off with, and this is in part 1, you first start off with your adjusted gross income taken directly from your 1040, which is the first page of your 1040. So if we go to the 1040, you have all your income sources, and then on the bottom you'll see adjusted gross income, the last line, $250,000. And in this scenario, I assume the person, this taxpayer, is a married couple. They make $250,000 of income, W-2 income, no other sources of income, and they had $25,000 of overtime wages. We're gonna put that $250,000, which is their total wages, their AGI, adjusted gross income, and then you'll notice that part 1 adds back several items. These items I didn't include because for most people it's not going to apply, but I'll tell you what they are. You have to add back income from that's earned in Puerto Rico, income that is earned overseas, foreign income, also income that's earned from other U.S. territories. And again, most people, this does not apply to them, but if it does apply to you, you have to add these back, and it increases your adjusted gross income. So now you have the modified adjusted gross income amount, $250,000. If we go to the no tax on overtime, we'll see that the $25,000 of overtime income is put on box 14. Now, the overtime income is included in the W-2 that you get at the end of the year, but it's included in box 1 of your W-2, which is your total compensation. Somewhere on your W-2, there's going to be a comment or a section that says how much of your gross income were overtime wages. I suspect it's either going to be in box 14 or it's going to be a summary that's attached to your W-2. The IRS has given employers a safe harbor to allow them to report it any way they want for this year, but the following year they're probably going to have a separate line item for qualified overtime compensation. But for the time being, it's included in box 1, and it may be separated out on box 14 or a summary along with your W-2 wages. So all right, in this scenario, the person had $25,000 of overtime wages. The next line is any overtime wages from 1099 NEC. That's self-employment income. I've never seen anyone earn overtime wages as part of self-employment income, but if you do, that's where it would go. So then you put your total overtime wages, then you include your modified adjusted gross income on line 16 here. Again, it's taken from the top part 1. Then it calculates it or compares it to the limits. If you're married filing jointly, the limit is $300,000, meaning if your modified adjusted gross income is under $300,000, you get to take the full deduction. If it's between $300,000 and $550,000, you get a partial deduction. If it's over $550,000, you don't get any deduction. And I'll show you in a few examples how that works. So in this case, because the taxpayer is below the $300,000 threshold, they're going to get the full deduction. So you'll see the $25,000 is the full deduction. And if you recall, I was talking about Part 6 earlier, where it sums up all the deductions. So if we go to Part 6 of the Schedule 1A, you'll see there's that $25,000 that's summed up on the as far as the total deductions. This $25,000 then goes on your 1040. So here we are on the 1040. This is the second page where it calculates your tax and your credits. So here's a $250 of adjusted gross income. The taxpayers are married, so they get the standard deduction of $31,500, and you'll see they'll get an additional $25,000 deduction from the overtime wages. So the total deduction they get against their income is this $56,500. So it brings their taxable income from $250,000 down to $193,500. That's what they pay tax on, not the $250,000. So that's how the no tax on overtime applies on the 1040. Okay, now let's look at a scenario where the person earns $325,000 of W-2 wages and $25,000 of overtime wages. So of that $325,000 is overtime wages. Now, if you recall earlier, I said if it's below $300,000, you get a full deduction. If it's between $300,000 and $550,000, you get a partial deduction. If it's over $550,000, there's no deduction. So in this case, there'll be a partial deduction. Let's see how that's calculated. So here we are in Part 3, the no tax on overtime. The $25,000 is shown here as far as the amount of overtime wages. And then you'll notice this line 19 and 20, there's a calculation that's done that was not done when the modified adjusted gross income was below $300,000. But because it's above it, now there's this calculation that's done to see how much of that $25,000 of overtime wages are going to be deductible. So in this case, it's only $22,500. Now, if we go back on the 1040, we'll see that there's the $325,000 of wages, which includes the $25,000 of overtime wages. They still get that $31,500 of standard deduction because they're married. But now this line 13B, it used to be $25,000, the full amount of the deduction of their overtime wages, but now it's capped, it's limited to $22,500. So now their total deduction comes to $54,000, whereas before it was $56,500. So now their taxable income is $271,000. In this last scenario, we're assuming the taxpayer earned $550,000, but of that $550,000, $25,000 was qualified overtime wages. Let's see what their deduction is now that their income is too high. Here we are in section part 3 of the Schedule 1A, the no tax on overtime. We see that we reported $25,000 of overtime compensation, but on this line 19 and 20, actually before we even get to line 19 and 20, we see that line 16 is the amount from Part 1, which is how much their modified adjusted gross income is. Because it's so high, the 550, line 19 and 20 do the calculation, and it shows that none of the $25,000 of overtime compensation is deductible, hence why the line 21 is zero. If you recall in the previous example, a portion of that $25,000 was deductible, but in this case, they've reached the threshold. The 550 is too much. Their income is too high, and none of the overtime wages are deductible. If we go back to the 1040 again, we'll see that their adjusted gross income is $550. They still get the standard deduction because they're married, $31,500. And then there's zero on the line 13, which is how much of a deduction they get for qualified overtime wages. They only get the $31,500. So their taxable income is now $518,500, and they're missing out on the deduction for the qualified overtime wages, which makes sense because their income is too high. So there you have it. That's how you calculate the no tax on overtime, and based on different income levels. If your income is below a certain amount, you get the full deduction. If you're between $300,000 and $550,000, you get a partial deduction. If you're over $550,000, you don't get any deduction. But it's important to note, I just used an example of married filing jointly. For someone who is single, those thresholds are going to be different. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a comment or a suggestion for a future video, please include it in the comment section below.